In this module, we are going to discuss about variables and workspaces. So basically these workspaces help us to structure our project in a cleaner way, that where we can reuse again and again, and instead of hard coding the values, we can use these variables along with the workspaces and we can deploy resources across multiple environments like a dev, UAT, QA, production and all. So without any further delay, let's jump into the videos.
Everyone. Alright, so here in this video we are going to discuss about Terraform variables. So basically whatever the Terraform scripts we are discussing here, so basically these all Terraform scripts, right? We are hard coding all these values, right? So we cannot reuse. For example, I have multiple environments like a dev environment, UAT, or else I might have I don't want to hard code this. I might use this instance launch with Amazon Linux and later I might change to Ubuntu. I don't want to go to this each and every file and I don't want to modify these configurations here in the main.tf file where actual the entire infra code resides. So what actually we can do, we can parameterize these values by using variables. Okay, so basically variables help us to achieve clean, reusable, scalable infrastructure code. Okay, so if I want to change something, if I want to do some modification, I really no need to touch the main Terraform code. I can go and I can use this variables option and I can just modify, so that the advantage with this Terraform variables is reusability, and as it is going to be clean, we are not going to hard code any values, so that it stays readable and maintainable. So flexible values can be changed at runtime via CLI, or we can use TF-var. I will talk about that. Okay, so it's going to be consistent. So and also we have something called if you mark the information as a sensitive, it is going to keep the secrets out from the main code, right? So we have variable, but multiple variables. So these are some primarily used one or commonly used one. So the common one is string. So we can define text value like dev in what region and all. We can define number, like for example I need the instance count and all. So we can use boolean where we can define just true or false. Okay, so then we can use list. List is nothing but order, collection of values where I want to give multiple instant types within that template itself. So then map and object, basically these are key and value pairs where we can define the key and value. Okay, or like a tag. For example, you want to add a tag to your EC2 instance. So we can actually use these maps, and we have tuple. So different data types or raw is another one where we can define any of this type of variable. So yeah, these all different type of variables we have. See, I am going to take examples for this variable. Okay, so firstly the string type. Okay, so if you observe, so this Terraform code has variables within the script itself, but it is not a best practice to keep variables in the same code as our main code. Okay, but for simplicity purpose at moment I'm going to um, put that here in this example, and whatever hands-on I'm going to perform there also I'll keep it within the main code itself, but I'm going to write one with a separate file like a variable file. So that's actually standard process we are going to follow. All main code into one file, variables into another file, output into another file. So that's a standard way, and we have concepts like a workspace and all if you want to have environments level configurations. Right. So if you observe, this is a string way. So here what actually I am doing, whatever the instant type I have, okay, so we have to define as a var. Firstly, we have to define variable section. Okay. So then what component you want to parameterize? So I want to parameterize instance type. So this instant type variable name you are mentioning here should be same you are mentioning it here. So this is a standard one. So this we have to use as per the Terraform documentation, but this one variable dot whatever name you are giving for this block. So the same name you have to mention here. So then obviously instant type is going to be a string only, and this type also not actually mandatory. So Terraform already matured enough to understand whether this is a like a string or it is a list or it is a count or it is a map. It has that maturity to understand the variable type. All right. So yeah, we'll see hands on. This is a string example, and if you observe, this example is for list. So I just don't want to keep only one EC2 instance type. So I want to give a list, and from this list I want to pick. So if I am giving only one, okay, so that's going to be string. But now what actually I am doing, I am giving, okay, I want to pick T2 micro or I want to pick T3 micro or I want to pick T3 small. So I want to give a list. Okay. So in that scenario, how we have to define this? See, the thing is same, var dot instant type, the block name and the variable dot block name is going to be same. But here we have given in this list format, right? And we have to define here the type, it's a list of strings. Okay. So we are using list variable for the string values we are defining here. So this is another example. So then count we can define, okay, so I want to launch 3 EC2 instances. So the instance count where the type is going to be number and what is the default value 3. So now what actually it will do, it is going to launch 3 EC2 instances with this configuration only, and it is going to give server -0, server -1, server -2. Why? Because we are using count.index option here. So if you want to start the server count from 1, you can just give +1 here. So the server 1, server 2, server 3 is going to create here. So we used multiple times this count variable, and we have something called map. Okay. So when coming to this map, right, it's primarily used for tags, whatever the instance I'm using here. Okay. So I want to add a tag. So these tags where I want to add, where name is equal to map example, environment is equal to dev, app is equal to demo app. Okay. So here what we are doing, so end of the day the values are going to be string only, but we are defining it as a map. So these are the examples I'm going to pick and I'm going to demonstrate. So enough of theoretical thing, let's jump into our Terraform and let's write this, or this is the one it is going to create a simple EC2 instance, right? So let's implement the string. So when coming to the string, so first what I want to use as a string, instant type I want to use as a variable. So first, what is the block name you want to give? Variable is a block name, instant type. So for standardized way, okay, just to keep it standardized, whatever the property we want to parameterize, okay, so that name same we can define. So there is no guarantee, we can definitely give different name here, but this is a standard process, so that later, okay, we are referring this value from this particular variable block. That just help us. Okay. So then obviously the type is going to be the string only. Okay. And then see, we can give a default format, default option, right? So I'm going to give T3 micro, and here instant type, I don't want to hard code this. Okay. Instead of hard coding this, I'm going to give, okay, there is a variable in this workspace at moment within this file only. So variable dot, the variable block, which one you copy that, you paste it here. Now when we deploy this Terraform script, it is going to launch 3 instances. Of course, we really don't require 3 instances, and I don't want to add count now. I'm just going to keep it very minimal. Okay, AMI ID and instant type. Okay, so Terraform plan. So okay, it is going to add 1. So then Terraform apply. So when I give Terraform apply, it should, okay, I have not given auto approve, so it should start creating the EC2 instance here. So I have not given any name kind of thing. Why? Because I want to stick this example to string only, right? So this is this is creating the EC2 instance, and the type we have added as a variable, right? So now I want to define multiple EC2 instances. Okay. So to share this code, I'm going to keep a copy here with you guys, right? So yeah, I think I have some, right? Okay. So now when coming to the list example, okay, so I'm going to take same instant type only, but instead of just one option, okay, I want to define multiple options. Okay. So instead of instant type, I'm going to change this to instant types. Here also types. Okay. So now whenever we want to give multiple values, so we have to give it as a list kind of array. Okay. So now we have to open this bracket so that we can define multiple values. So T3 micro is one option. We have to separate it by using comma. T3 small is another option, comma. Okay. T3 medium is another option. All right. Is there any mistake? Something is missing, it is giving the red color, that means it's an error. So T3 micro, comma, T3 small. Okay, the double quotes missing here, right? So I have given total 3 configurations. So these are the values we are using. Now if I go and if I deploy this, it is going to create 3 EC2 instances. Okay, so again, so the type I still have it as a string. It should change as a list first. Okay, so we want to define multiple values, and whenever we are defining it as a list, so here we can define, okay, which one we want to create. So I want to create the first one, or I want to create the second one. See, if I give 0, technically it is going to create T3 micro. So if I give 1, it is going to create T3 small. So the index actually starts from 0. So if I give 2, it is going to create T3 medium. So I'm going to choose the 0, or even 1 also fine, it is going to create T3 small, right? So here important thing is, I am not just defining only one, I am defining list of strings, okay, and here which one I want to pick, I have defined that, right. So now let's apply this, let's plan, let's see any error. All right, nothing, one to change, and obviously Terraform format, it's going to give the indentation, the formatting in proper manner. So now I can give Terraform apply. So now it is actually refreshing the state and it is going to modify that particular instance. I think I can minimize this, right. So now okay, it is stopping, and yeah, we are taking T3 small, right. So it might change the instance configuration from micro to like we defined a T3 small, right. So it might change that, okay, right. So that is a example, this is an example for list variable option. So obviously we know the count, right. So we can just define here, I want to define another variable. The variable name is going to be instance underscore count is the variable name I am giving, and the type obviously it's going to be the number, and what is the default value you want to give. So default value is going to be 2. So now, yeah, we have defined a variable here, but where we want to use it? So under resource section, okay, how exactly earlier what we did, we hard coded like, okay, count I want to give 1. So it is going to launch one instance with the settings, right? But now I'm giving like instead of hard coding it, so we have to give similar way, var dot instance count, okay, so that, right, so that it is going to, okay, the fail to save, okay, I don't know why actually it is failed to save, right. Compare, so there is a conflict it is identifying. Okay, I'm just overriding the existing one, right. So there is no issue with this, so we have formatted it. So now what actually we can do, okay, even we can add tags, and however we are creating multiple, right. So we can use that count.index, the one we discussed earlier. So we can give, okay, this is my my instance hyphen, so we can give count dot index here, so but it actually starts from 0, right. So if you give +1, so the name is going to be my instance 1, my instance 2 is going to be the EC2 instance names. But for now the important thing is the count we are defining here, the count, and by using that count we are actually loading this variable, right. So now Terraform plan, okay, one to add, one to change, right. So yeah, then Terraform apply hyphen auto approve. So now earlier we have only one instance with T3 small, we are going to get a name for this and we are going to get another instance. You see this, my instance 1, my instance 2. So both are creating with the same configurations, right? So what actually change we did? We have added count variable here. So now want to extend the same thing with this map variable as well. So currently what I did, this name also technically we have hard coded this name, but along with name I want to add some more tags also. So in that scenario, what actually we can do, we have this like a instance type and instance count. Similar way, I'm going to extend this to map variable as well. Okay, so the existing operation completed, so I'm going to extend this variable instance tags. All right, so now the tag type is map. Okay, so the type is map. Again, it's going to be string. Okay, so now what are the default tags you want to add to your EC2 instance? I want to add default tag like a name I want to add. I don't want to add name here. Okay, so I'll remove that entire name section. Okay, so here where I want to add name as a map test, so project is going to be and I want to add like a environment is going to be it's going to be dev environment. So project owner, something like cost center tags, kind of tags we can add. So let's assume we have given all the required variables here. Now here how we can define? So basically we have to define, so tags is equal to, there is a variable with a name called instant tags. So you just go and pick that. That's it. So again it is going to create two EC2 instances, but again we just added variable tag, right? So let's see, like here just observe, for both the EC2 instances we don't have any particular tags. We don't have any particular tags for both the instances. So now when I do this Terraform format, right, so now Terraform plan. Okay, so it is going to change both the instances name, it is going to change, it is going to add environment tag, and it is going to add project tag as well, right? So time to apply. Okay, now we have applied. Earlier there is no tags, but we have taken this map variable and we are able to add the tags to our EC2 instance. Now if you observe this particular Terraform script, so we have multiple variables here. Now immediately you might get a doubt, Avinash, we have something here region, right? Can we make it as a variable? Absolutely we can make it as a variable. So what we can do, okay, I'll do one thing, I'll move this provider block below, just above to the resource. Okay, I even want to change this region also to the variable. I don't want to hard code. Okay, so you can take another variable section. Okay, I am taking another variable and I am going to call this as a region, and obviously the type is going to be string only. And what is a default value you want to give? So I am going to give AP South -1. Okay, so now instead of hard coding this AP South 1 here, I can give var dot region. So now technically almost all the components we have made as a parameterize, or we made it as a variable. So region here, instance type is here, instance count is here, instance tags also here. Even if you want to change this AMI also, we can do that. So let's do it now. After instant type, let's variabilize that as well. Variable, let's call this as a AMI ID. Okay, so the type is string, and what is the default value? So this is a valid 1, so I can pick this. I can where is that? Yeah, it's here, AMI ID. I can add that here. Right. So now if we scroll down, and here this AMI, do we really need to hard code? Not really required. I can give variable AMI ID. So now if you observe, this instance launch all the properties, either it may be the count, or it may be an AMI, or instance type, or the tags. So technically everything is made as a variable. Okay. Now see, if you are keeping, is it okay to have all the variables and the code in the same file? The answer is no. It is not best practice. So in general, what actually we do, we create another file here with the name called variables.tf. Okay. So whatever the variables we have here, right, you can copy all this, you can actually cut this, and you can paste it under variable section. So Terraform has capability to scan this entire workspace. Okay, and I want to show you something. For example, mistakenly the variable name I have given something else, and I have mistyped or misspelled here. You see this? Immediately it is showing the file is in red color, the variable also is in red color. What is the reason? See, this main.tf file is looking for a variable. The variable name is instance underscore tags A. So with this name there is no variable. Even if you scroll here your cursor, no declaration found for var.instance underscore tag SA. Okay. So now if I go to this variable, here at tags SA, now you see that error gone. So whether the file is the variable is in the main code file, or it is in the variables.tf file, okay, the Terraform is going to scan this entire workspace and it is going to utilize it. Even we have something called output section as well. We can define output.tf also here. So this main.tf is fully kind of parameterized, variabilized. Now at moment Terraform fmt, okay, this variable also formatted. Now Terraform plan, okay, it is going to verify, it is refreshing the state, right, our infrastructure is ready. Now I just want to change my AMI. So currently these EC2 instances are running with Amazon Linux, right? Okay, or both the instance configuration I want to change from T3 small to T3 micro. I manually no need to touch this main.tf file. All I need to do is, okay, so this variables, right? Okay, so if I have only one value, I can set it up, or So T3 micro is going to be the one, so I can just adjust this number. If it is a instance type, okay, if it is a instant type, I can adjust. If it is a AMI, if it is a count. So for example, currently this Terraform script is giving 2 instances. I changed my mind, I want to make it 1. I can go here, I can make it 1, then Terraform plan, it should destroy one instance. You see this one instance, it is going to destroy. Why? Because I updated my variable. So then if I give Terraform apply auto approve, one of the EC2 instance, it is going to pick and it is going to terminate. You can see here it's terminating. So this is a fully variabilized or parameterized Terraform script. So in real environments, we actually follow this method. All right. So hope you understand this variables concept. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you again in next video.
Hope you are learning Terraform from our videos. And if you feel these videos are valuable, don't forget to share with the DevOps learners and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.